Hi guys, I'm David.
And I'm Tom.
We're going to do a bit of a deep dive looking at the BWSC One Team promotional video that we worked on recently. So we're going to go through a lot of the behind the scenes. Rather than going there for 2 days, we went as 2 teams of 2 and kind of filmed as much as we could.
So David was the director on the shoot and I was the camera operator. We also had Byron on the shoot, who was the drone operator and the camera operator as well.
The purpose of this video was to create like a high-end promotional video for them to use internally. So the idea was to show BWSC team members working as a team, working as one, that's what it's called, one team. So to get a good sample size, we went to 3 sites. We went to Cramlington, we went to Templeborough, and we went to Brig.
Yeah.
They're all energy from waste sites, all use a different fuel, so it's kind of showing their process. Do you want to talk a bit about all the technical stuff, what the cameras were shot on?
I shot on my camera, which is a Sony FX3. Originally, in the first location, we kind of mixed between a handheld rig and a gimbal rig.
This was in Brig. We had these 2 guys for an hour or 2 shooting various scenes. They were very good, very accommodating.
Yes.
Took us to some interesting spots.
So this was the first day, and you can see I was using the handheld rig. But by the second and the third shoot dates, we kind of just stuck to the gimbal the whole time because the gimbal is a bit more dynamic. We could capture things in the moment.
We didn't want to just stick it on the tripod. We wanted constant movement.
Yeah.
Where it's full moving into a scene, pulling out, left, right, and that sort of thing. To match with what Byron did with the drone's always on the move.
I feel like the best gimbal movements are the ones that are very slow push in, slow pull out, and a few orb shots, and then you're kind of golden to move on to your next shot.
So yeah, I do like using the ones that push forward because like you're just always moving closer into the action. Whether it's a wide shot or medium one, you're always just getting nearer. With the audience, you're always pushing them nearer to what they're meant to be looking at. As you talk about, here's your gimbal. We're filming this kind of team morning meeting. Even though there's a lot of light, the naked eye had to kind of light it a bit more. We filmed it 3 times,
yeah,
didn't
it's
we?
the third meeting one. I'd say the best still last, really, yeah.
Yeah, because one of the key scenes that a client wanted to show, a morning meeting that showed lots of different kind of important people from the site all come together and show lots of diversity as well. Lots of people in different clothing, which was really good.
Yeah.
They even had people standing up because there wasn't enough seating for them, which showed it was a really important one. So we kind of got 3 goes at filming this scene, and this one was led by Malcolm. Malcolm was so helpful on the day. He organised everything we needed. So you can see here we've got quite a long list of scenes at all different parts of the site and it needed different people. But yeah, we'll come do that first. Yeah. Then it'll become the delivery with the lab bit. Byron's going to get that same time on a drone, and he was just so helpful of just like, right, we'll do this, that and that, that and other. He got one of his team, or 2 of his team, to set things up ahead of time. So once we finished one thing, we went straight to the next, and they were ready for us and we filmed it. When everyone works together, their side and our side, you get a really good result. We got to film in all areas of these sites. What was very interesting to me is filming in the control room.
Did we only use like one of the control rooms in the final edit, or did we use all 3?
It's a bit of both. So yeah, so this one in Templeborough, there's an actual shot in the final edit.
Yeah.
There was an issue and the guy started to run in and he's actually in the shot in the background, he looks concerned. But for camera, it looked like we'd set it all up.
Yeah, when it was all natural, yeah,
Yeah.
it kind of worked. The site manager showed us a little vantage point where we could see all the trucks. Zoomed my lens up to 100mm to get as tight as possible from that angle. Just getting all the wood coming out of the back of the truck. So right now I'm just shooting the trucks again from down here, just as a different angle. Gonna get a wide first of these 3 trucks because it looks quite cinematic. At this point we're filming the furnace where they burn it. So I've got to rebalance the gimbal because I've got the ND and I'm inside now, so I'll take that out. There was nice lighting from the actual furnace, the glow, like the orange glow on his face looked really nice. Yeah, and action. Don't know if that made it into the edit, but we captured so much stuff that we could use it in future videos for the company. In this moment, I feel like a push-in on a gimbal always looks quite good. Our base was the canteen, and Byron's very happy with the coffee machine that made chocolate lattes as well. Yeah, David doesn't drink caffeinated drinks. Sorry, David, what have you got there?
It's a chocolate latte, apparently.
Chocolate. David was buzzing. Chocolate.
Oh, yeah, I thought it was just hot chocolate, really nice.
Yeah, it was lovely, to be fair. This is me like, oh, you're taking my camera.
You're just checking what I'm doing.
Yeah, I'm a bit worried.
What's he doing here?
So I think this is when David's chocolates really kicked in. You're like, I'm taking the camera.
Toolbox Talk, I believe this was.
Yeah, it's actually funny though, because you showed me in the edit that I was actually in one of the drone shots. So Byron was getting a drone shot while I was filming this, And because I was in the shot, I was like a little speck, like an orange speck from bird's eye, and you blurred me out.
Yeah, I did blurred you out and tracked it, so the blur stayed where you were and made it a bit darker, so you just look like a puddle or a bit of...
Yeah, thanks.
Smoke. No one's looking at that part of the frame, they're looking at the circle of people.
Yeah, so it just allowed us to get both the shots in good time.
So Malcolm led the toolbox talk. We kind of got wide, medium, kind of focused on him, and then you went around and got different kind of 2 shots and singles over the shoulder, people doing various things.
So I'm shooting over James's shoulder here, getting him signing the toolbox talk, getting some low angles. These guys were just talking normally, and I thought, why not just shoot this? And it actually made it into the final edit. So here we were capturing one of the guys getting into the big truck.
And action.
And then I let Byron shoot on his drone afterwards.
Just literally getting back in. So he's walked across there, coming that way, and straight back in. All right.
This is a joint scene. So part of what Malcolm did, he did a kind of work at height job. So first part of that is getting his kind of permit from the permit office. So we did a couple shots here of him arriving, speaking to the permit issuer, getting the right documentation. The purpose of this, because Malcolm, he was about to kind of climb up the stack. There's a lot of health and safety involved of climbing up something quite tall. So there's a lot of equipment that was laid out on the table. So we filmed every single part, everything is harness, all the other bits he needs, all the attachments, other PPE. Again, we filmed this, probably over-filmed it, all the different angles, but then in the edit, it's just 1, 2, climbing up, and he's gone. But you don't know it at the time. You just got to film all as much as you can, and then you pick and choose.
For people who don't really see cameras that often, so it must be quite exciting for them. Either exciting or a bit nerve-wracking. I think either way on being on camera.
It's very common. The comment we'll get is like, "Oh, I thought you was going to turn up with a phone," or just a little thing like that. Like, "Oh, what's all this stuff?"
You come up with this massive gimbal setup.
And we often take our big trolley around, and it's full of stuff, and they're like, "Oh, you need all that stuff, do you?" And we're like, "Yeah." Especially if you're doing an interview setup like this, when you need lights and stands and lots of other bits.
Yeah, I think low angle, high angles, I think they work well to mix up a little edit.
Because the stack he's climbing up is 70, 80 metres tall, when you're looking up at it, it just goes up into the sky.
It looks epic. Yeah, so this is the low angle. I mean, I'm not actually that low, but because
the camera's pointing directly up.
Yeah, so I think we had a window of 10, 20 minutes where it stopped raining, where we could get the drone out and fly it.
It kind of, the theme of this video is meant to be one team, and that's exactly what it kind of took for us and them to get these sort of shots. And I think this is the strongest scene. It's the most epic looking, maybe that's why.
Yeah.
But it just works so well, everyone coordinating to get these epic shots. This is the bit where we were saying how when you do these sort of shots, you do end up doing a really funny walk.
Yeah, you really do. You
What's
walk
that?
You walk like a crab.
Good deep dive, Tom. Yeah.
Oh, thanks. Thanks, David.
That's good. Well, good job.
Yeah, thank you.
Good job, Byron. Good job, Joe. And we'll see you next time on one of these. Bye.
Bye, guys.